Hi, it's been a while. In fact, more than a month since I released the last video, but that's about to change now. So yeah, I've got something to show you. I've worked on some projects. I wanted to do videos about those projects, but there's not enough to show really. That's why I've got a lot of started projects, but not to a point where they would be interesting to do a video about. But now I have one, which I already uploaded a video about, the first part where I explained what I wanted to do. You've probably read in the title that this video is about the cubic voxel toolset that I've been working on. It's only in its prototype phase, but you can already work with it. So let me just show you what I've been doing here. For those of you who are game developers or already worked with the Unity editor, know what I'm showing you right here. The editor or the window that you're seeing is the standard Unity editor. First, I thought about doing a standalone project where the Voxel cubic toolset, or the cubic voxel toolset, I think I named it, would be, but I thought about it a lot and then just decided to do an extension for the Unity editor, although our project where I'll be using the assets that are made with this cubic voxel toolset have nothing to do with Unity. Unity is just a game engine editor that I'm used to and I work a lot, so I know a lot about it. And it's very easy to program your own tools within this editor, so I decided to use all the features that the editor already has and add upon them to create my tool that can create assets that will be completely unrelated to Unity once they're exported out of Unity and can be used in our game or in the renderer that Jan has already worked on. So now let me show you what I've done. This is nothing new that you will see here. The scene view is just the 3D space where we'll be working in, and I've got a lot of, on the left side, a lot of folders where all the program code is in, but also save states is what I call them, and prefabs. These will be saved models that will be created within the Unity editor with the tools. So I made this little tool tab on the top right here with the voxel editor. When you open it, this window shows up. And this is basically combined with another tool that I implemented, everything you need for the Unity tool extension that I built. So I will just dock it down here. So what can this actually do? We can create a new model. Let's name it tests. I already have one that's named test model. So if I create this, we will see in the hierarchy view, which is here, an object named test model has been created. This object has a position, and this is basically standard Unity stuff, but it also has a gizmos script, which is this gizmos. This gizmos is basically the grid that is drawn in the scene. I can turn it off and on and change color if I want to, which will be the foundation where you can where you can build your model on. So the cubes will align in these grids when you move them around or add them to the scene. So when you've created this object, this new model, I will call it, nothing really happened. It just appeared in the scene view. To save this and let it appear in the asset folder, so you can close the editor and open up again without having lost all the progress you've made, you can use the save button. It's very basic. Now we have a test model under the folder save states, which links to the prefab. A prefab is basically the model itself, where later on the coloring and all other data, which is not yet implemented, will be saved also here along with the model. So yeah, this is basically the save button. Also, you can load others already made save states. For example, I think this one has already some cubes in it. Here's a little preview of what the object in this save state looks like. Let's load this. Now this is in the scene view. And to actually work on this, you can use a tool extension that I built, which is located in the top left corner. We just select the editor tools, Voxel Mesh tool. When this is selected, the UI will change in the scene. We got 3 options: the move tool, the add tool, and the delete tool. This is basically everything that is in the scope of what I've created so far. There will be added a lot more tools, and it will be, yes, for example, copy and paste tools. Then the coloring tool will be added, and eventually a animating tool, probably. So what you can do with these tools, when you select one of these tools, it's basically just like in Photoshop or in Blender. If you used to working with those, you can select these cubes. For example, I selected all of these. By holding down the shift button, I don't lose focus of the ones I've selected so far, and I can move them around in the scene. And you can see that they snap into position, so they never are offsetted from this grid on the bottom. Also, you can now see in the hierarchy view on the right side of the screen that each cube is recorded as one with the position of itself as its name. Yeah, this is not the optimized way to do this, but it's just a tool, so it will do. Also, you can add to these. As you can see, I've selected the add tool, and there will be a wireframe of the cube that you are about to place drawn in where my mouse is, as you can see. So if I left click, I add new cubes, they will automatically be added to the hierarchy. Now let's just, I don't know, build this up a bit. Like this, for example. And then let's use the delete tool to delete some stuff, just to show that it works as intended. You can either use the enter, the back, or the escape key when you're having the delete tool selected. I believe I already implemented, when you have not selected the delete tool, that the escape button will also delete these cubes. Or you can use the button here, which will delete the current selection. They will automatically be deleted out of the hierarchy, as well as in the scene. So this is how you basically create your own model. What my next steps are is probably first the coloring tool, so you can color these cubes individually, so that you can see the cubes better. Or maybe I will write my own shader so you can see these cubes better, because right here you don't really see where the individual cubes are, you only see a white flat area. Maybe I'll write a shader for that. But yeah, so first things that will be added next are the coloring tool, and probably some extended add and delete tools, maybe even the copy and paste tool for large areas of cubes. You can only add one cube at a time at this moment. You cannot drag and create, for example, a plane of cubes like this. This is not implemented yet. Yeah, just to show that saving this will work as well, just click save. And now if we, for example, load the test model that we've created as a new from before, which is completely empty, load, there's nothing in the scene. Now when we will reload the other grid test, I believe was it, you can see that the changes have been applied. and if I load it, it will be in the scene again. So this works completely as intended. Now, why did I do this in the Unity editor? I've touched about this topic a bit in the beginning, but basically all the moving around with the camera, the panning, the selection of cubes, so how you select cubes is basically through a ray cast from the mouse position that will be transformed into a position in 3D space, and then a ray will be cast from that position down in the direction of the camera to then collide with cubes, and all this is done with already existing features within Unity, so I don't have to worry about any of that. And since this is only a tool and not something that will be released as some, I don't know, standalone application, there is no need for having to worry about all this stuff around what I would just want to do with this. This is just a simple tool. So this is why I chose to extend the Unity editor and not build a standalone application. Also, you can use this application already. It's up on my GitHub repository. I'll link to it down in the description. If you're familiar with GitHub, you can just clone the repository. The where I'm active on the branch, the branch name where I'm most active on is update. So if you clone the update or select the update branch, your project should look like this, or even have more added functionalities. So I think that's the branch you should select. If you're unfamiliar with GitHub, let me just blend in some thing that will show you how to do it. Yeah. Okay, a little blend in. So I've linked down this page that you'll see on my monitor now in the video description below. And if you have no idea how to manage your way around this page, I'll just show you. So I've already talked about that you want to use the updates branch if you want the tool that I just showed you in the video. So usually you'll probably be on the main branch, which you can switch when you click this button. You want to always have the updates branch selected, since all the newest versions of the tool that are working will be on this branch. So you can read about it here, or you can use the wiki for some more information. I believe I have some information in the wiki. Let me just check about the file type. Yeah, so if you're interested in that, you can look at the wiki, but it's not very filled with a lot of information yet, but yeah, so you're free to do so. So if you want to download this, you go to the code button with the little download arrow, and if you have, you can use the desktop application from GitHub, or you can just download it as a zip file. If you have downloaded the zip file, you can put it anywhere on your file system and just unzip it. So the problem with this is you will also have to download the Unity editor, since this is only a project that can be opened in the Unity editor. This is basically just how you can open a photo in Photoshop, only if you have Photoshop installed. So this project is basically the photo that you have, but you need the editor so you can edit it, so you can open it. You need the Unity version, I believe it's 2020.3.0f1, but I think it's pretty easy to download this once you have downloaded the Unity editor. Yeah, I will not show you how to do that. You probably know how to download something and install it. Okay, back to me again. Now that you know how to use this thing, I wanted to add one more last thing before I close out the video, and that's the import and export buttons. They are currently not implemented yet. These export and import buttons will be to transform the save states inside the Unity editor that can be located on the left side, to transform these into the file that I mentioned in the first video, so we can actually use it in our engine. And this is just a very unoptimized save state that has all the data not really compressed, but inside the Unity editor. This works, of course, but is not the optimal solution. So we will transform this through the export button, which will probably be added after I've finished the coloring tool. So we can actually use it in the engine. Yeah, so that's the export button, and the import button is just when you exported one of those save states and you want to make space for, maybe you don't have, want to have only 3 of those save states at a time, so it is not clustered and you can have an easy understanding of what models you are currently have in your assets folder. You can re-import then, so you convert them from the file that we will be using for our Unity, for our Vermillion engine, back into Unity. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope this was a little bit interesting. I have a lot of other projects. Well, a lot is a bit over exaggerated, but I have a few projects that I want to make videos about, but they're just not interesting enough yet. So there's not a lot to show yet. There's one about procedural world generation, currently in 2D, where I'll also show an Unity editor extension that I built to create a 2D world with tiles that I self-made, which are procedurally generated and interesting through noise maps, specifically Perlin noise and white noise, but that's not at a point where I want to show it yet. So anything else? You can always join our Discord. There's not a lot of activity yet because we are not far in our project where people can test it out and create feedback, or yeah, but maybe that will populate later on. So see you.